such an asshole.
So I don't know if the internet is good or not. Well, it says it's good. Let's go and see. You can see my shiny face. Look at that. Oh my God. Only a face a mother could love. And I want to, this is just I laugh. I laugh. So, the Prigozhin, the Wagner group guy, oh, look what happened. Oh my gosh. Doobie Dabby. What a shock. And in no way do I endorse tyranny or a lack of democracy. I haven't really talked about democracy or economics, like politics versus economics. Like, for example, Poland, I believe you cannot have the Communist Party. And I don't know if I'm like, I'm like, well, wait, what if people want communism? You know, like people have the right to shoot themselves in the foot. But I do not endorse any kind of tyranny or the lack of the will of the people to govern themselves. And Putin, I don't know, outright dictator, but certainly not democratic. And I do not endorse people being assassinated by a president, like Hillary Clinton, right? Tish, Putin and the Russians. What about Clinton? What about all the dead people on our territory? What about that? But I gotta say, there's one thing I love Putin about, and that is just the mafioso kind of telling you without telling you, being subtle yet not so subtle, like, oh my God, polonium poisoning again. Oh, look, somebody thrown out a window. And what did you think was going to happen? The man is consistent. The man is consistent. And whereas in the United States and the West in general, I mean, is the Russia Western debate, but the American West and the classical Cold War sense of it, modernly Americans have just become a bunch of pussies, a bunch of passive aggressive pussies. Where instead of like Trump would have had a one-on-one candid discussion with Putin, and maybe we would have avoided 250,000 deaths and injuries. Maybe. Whereas not Trump America, which is America. We do this passive aggressive bullshit. And I've said it before where we're going to put sanctions on you. And I likened it to, okay, today no one talked to Becky because I don't like Becky. And that's what it is. That's what it is in the United States. But Putin, more of a mobster gangster, like, oh, look at that. That's a tragedy. It's a nice dog you got there. Be ashamed if something happened to it. So then I saw this, and you got to respect the balls on this guy. So here's the article from Fox News. Pentagon says Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin, I don't know how to pronounce his first name, likely killed in plane crash, no evidence of missile attack. The Pentagon would not say whether it believed the Wagner chief was deliberately killed. U.S. officials said they believe Wagner mercenary chief Yevgeny Prigozhin was likely killed in a plane crash Wednesday as theories continue to swirl that the Russian government was involved in his death. Speaking with reporters on Thursday, Pentagon Press Secretary Air Force Brigadier General said the U.S. would not comment on whether Prigozhin's death was part of a deliberate assassination. First of all, our initial assessment is that it's likely Prigozhin was killed, he said. We don't have any information to indicate right now. The press reporting stating that there was some type of surface-to-air missile that took the plane down, but we assess that information to be inaccurate. Prigozhin was killed Wednesday in a plane crash that left 10 people dead outside of Moscow. State media reported the business jet was traveling from the Russian capital to St. Petersburg when it went down in the Tver region, according to the TASS news agency. The death came 2 months after Wagner chief led a brief mutiny that shocked observers and posed the most severe challenge to Russian President Vladimir Putin's authority. Putin labeled it a stab in the back and treason. That's a guy I don't want to get on the bad side of. On Thursday, he spoke for the first time regarding Prigozhin's death. This is Putin. This is Putin. As for the aviation tragedy, first of all, I want to express my sincerest condolences to the families of all the victims. It was always a tragedy, or it is always a tragedy. Putin said while meeting with Denis Pushilin, the leader of the Donetsk People's Republic, a Russian-aligned Ukrainian separatist state. Indeed, if there were, and the primary data indicate that there were employees of the Wagner PMC, I would want to note that these people made a significant contribution to our common cause of fighting the neo-Nazi regime in Ukraine. We remember this, we know it, and we will not forget it. That is a shame that what happened to the plane over there. Many have speculated that Putin was behind the explosion of the plane carrying Prigozhin. Do we know it was an explosion, given that political opponents, journalists, and others critical of the Russian leader have died in mysterious circumstances over the years? Immediately following the incident, President Biden was asked about, God, what are you talking to a plant for? What are you talking to him for? Rob reports that Prigozhin was possibly on the doomed aircraft. I don't know for a fact what happened, but I am not surprised. Not much happens in Russia that Putin's not behind. I don't know enough to know the answers, he said. Wagner troops have mourned their leader and set up memorials where some have publicly prayed for him. I won't be afraid to say that Prigozhin is a Russian hero, a Wagner supporter told the news website Fontanka. He's a man of his word. He's done a lot, not only in the course of the special military operation, but in defending Russia's interest in the world, the Syrian campaign, and Africa. Prigozhin, once a close ally of Putin, was given great latitude in his criticism of Russian military leaders amid Moscow's stalled war against Ukraine. Videos of him publicly assailing Russian military generals and officials went viral as the army encountered strong Ukrainian resistance and battlefield losses. And it goes on to some other stuff. So there you go. Just kind of a Scooby-Doo mystery. All right. I got other stuff to talk about. So this is a quick one. I just want like no bullshit. Like no bullshit. We're not talking about feeling. It's just like, what happened to Jimmy? Jimmy was supposed to be here. Didn't Jimmy just open his mouth and insult the guy who has all the guns? And look, we can't find Jimmy. I guess what it is, maybe it's the difference between a dictatorship and a democracy. A dictatorship, from a managerial perspective, is very efficient. Do it or I kill you, right? There's no meetings. There's no committee. Democracy is slow. It takes forever. And there's some people who are intellectually dishonest, regardless, Russian, American, doesn't matter, where you're trying to get something done, and then people like to bog you down with disingenuous arguments just for the sake of pissing you off and slowing you down. Like people who argue intellectually dishonestly. And this is why you never really argue with a leftist in general or a child. You just dismiss them. But there's never any punishment for people who are like, and sometimes you just want to slap that fly away. And oh, look, the nagging and the harping and the mosquito is dead. It went away. Oh, that's just too bad, because it's not that it takes too long to convince the person on the other side. It's that there's no convincing them. They don't really care to engage in an argument with you. They just want to annoy you and piss you off, which is such a cowardly thing. And then all of a sudden they're gone one day. It's like, what happened? I don't know. That annoying person just disappeared. Don Juan Plaguis, $2 note in 2019, his plane went down as well. Yeah, no, 100% chance there could, 100% chance. There is a real chance it was a legit accident. Yeah. His body has yet to be seen, so make your conclusion. Yeah, I know. We don't have all the facts, I know, but it's just, okay, how long would it be until another person went missing or died of polonium? Even if Putin didn't do this one, it makes my point that, oh, look at that person is gone now. Don Juan again, $2 in 2019, went missing for 3 years. 3 weeks post-plane. Okay, no, you could be right, Don. You could be right. So there you go. More on the way. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.